Noah. I'm going to show you how to do a nose touch to a target, and you can use this for a lot of things. This is my target. It's an empty, he already knows this pretty much. It's an empty Tupperware lid. You probably, disposable. You probably want to get a disposable one so that you can, if you want to fade the target, you can cut it to make it smaller. Come here, Jakey. Go on in there, Bubba. Good Jakey. So, for example, I am originally making this video to show someone how to teach their dog to nose target to a flap on a doggy door. The dog's a little afraid of the flap, so you can start with the nose target. So, all you need to do if your dog didn't know this is get the target, have some treats, and hold it out and wait for the dog to nose touch. As soon as it does, click treat. Be sure your dog understands clicker training with this. If it doesn't, say yes when its nose hits the target, and then reward it. Good boy. Timing was bad there. Good boy. Change different locations. If I'm moving it around, like I said, he knows this. So I can move this around. When your dog's not familiar with it, stay to the same place for a while. Okay? Don't move the target. Then once he's reliably coming to that place, then you can move it. Good boy. Good boy. To different locations. And then you can attempt to make the object in a different kind of flat. You know, different things like that to change it up. Good boy. Good boy. This is how you can also teach a dog to shut doors and things like that. So you can get the target. He targets to the door. And then you just teach a cue. And this is how you're going to do the dog flap. So once he knows this, and again, I'm jumping ahead because my dog knows this. So you're going to take it a little slower than this. What I can do now is tape it to the cabinet. Good boy. And this would be, once they do this to a cabinet, reliably, you can move it to another surface, and then you can move the target will go to the doggy door. Now, obviously you don't want the dog to touch the doggy door with their... He gets really excited about it. You don't want the dog to touch the doggy door with their nose. You obviously want their head to go through it. So eventually what you're going to do is once it's touching it with its nose, and they're good at that, they're going to raise the criteria, which means you're changing it. So now you're going to say, okay, I'm not going to click and treat until you nudge the flap with your nose. And then you click and treat the nudge. And then he'll do that several times. And then once they put their head all the way through, then you click and treat. Or your dog may just see that it opens up and just run through it. Either way, you're going to slowly change the criteria. Just take baby steps. So the first one is just a touch. Reward, reward every time they touch. Then you wait for that behavior you want, which the end result is them going through the flap. But just take baby steps to get there. And don't continue to click and treat for the exact same behavior so that you can actually chain the behaviors that you want together. So the behavior you want is, first I'll click and treat when you touch, then I won't click and treat when you touch, I'm going to wait for you to do something else. Which what he'll do, this is how I got him to do the close of the cabinet. Noah, close it. So he'll touch. Now wait until I actually push him. Oops. Make sure your target's stuck on there pretty good. He likes to use his feet too. Close it. Close the door. No, close the door. Good boy. Child safety lock. Good boy. So that was kind of a crummy example, and I did it on a bad cabinet because that cabinet has a child safety lock, so it doesn't really shut. Here, we'll do it on this one. Hold on, let me put more tape. Now, what you can do eventually, you can even use a Post-it note, because then you can cut the Post-it note. You can make your dog target to a Post-it tab. I mean, it doesn't matter what you use as your target, but you can, if you don't want to cut a lid or you don't have a lid that you want to dispose of, use a Post-it note. Just make sure Doug doesn't eat the note and it actually does a nose target instead of a chew or something. So, close it. Good boy. Can you close the door? Good boy. So see how that works? Now that's just for closing the door. Obviously it's in the doggy door, but I think you get the idea. Okay, good luck.